everybody, Joe Workman, and today I'm excited because we're going to integrate Total CMS into an existing RapidWeaver project. We're going to start from scratch and see kind of how easy it is to use, right? And how we can set it up and get started with it. So before I really get started with it, I want to back up and tell you a little bit of backstory. Now, when I built the CMS, I wanted to, throw out all the preconceptions of what we think a CMS is, right? Normally, when we think of a CMS, we think we have to have a back-end database and then, some sort of ugly front end that, shows our things and we can click on it and then it allows us to edit it, right? Well, I wanted to think outside the box. I decided to build something completely from scratch that is exactly what RapidWeaver users need, right? It is completely custom. I don't leverage any existing paradigms, right? It is built from scratch for RapidWeaver. And I had two requirements. One was zero setup. I don't want any sort of complicated setup process for the CMS. The second one was no database. Databases are hard, and I want this to be easy and powerful. And I am so happy that we have accomplished zero setup, zero database. All you need to do is publish and go. It all just works. And I'm really, really excited to show you this first glance at Total CMS. So without further ado, let's jump in and see how awesome it is. Now here we have the Total CMS demo project that is available for download, as well as you can get it on the doc portal and inside the disk image that you downloaded Total CMS with. Now, I'm not going to go over every single stack right now and then show you the settings, right? I want to kind of break this down and show you the basic concepts of how to get things started. And to do that, we're going to create completely blank pages. So first off, we'll see that I've created a new content blank page and a new admin blank page inside the project. There is nothing on these pages. We are starting from scratch. Now, when you look at the Total CMS stacks, you'll see that there are two distinct groups. We have the top group here, which is all of the admin stacks. These are the stacks that you're going to use to create and submit content to the CMS. And then the white icon stacks are the ones that are going to be used for content. These are going to display your CMS content inside your website. So let's do the admin side first. And basically every admin page, you're going to want to have an admin core stack. This contains all of the core libraries that we will need for the entire admin page. Okay. Now for this example, we're just going to do something simple. We're just going to create a text box. So I add the admin text stack to the page. And obviously we're going to want to have a save button. So we're going to go ahead and click the show save button. Now, the save button's off by default because most of the time you'll want to have like a centralized save button throughout, your admin page potentially, so that not every text box has a separate save button. Okay, but for this example, we just want to keep it simple. I'm going to have a save button here. Now, what you'll notice is that every stack throughout Total CMS contains a CMS ID. This ID is what links the admin page content that is submitted to the actual content that gets displayed on the website. So I'm going to create something that has not been published on this site. So let's go ahead and do demo. Okay, I'm just going to create a thing called demo. And this ID doesn't exist on the site yet, so it's completely fresh. And I'm just going to leave all of the defaults alone. That's all we need. So since this project uses the foundation theme, I've added a few foundation stacks just so that we can properly preview everything. So here we are, I have my text stack. Now, it is blank, it doesn't show any content yet because we haven't actually saved any content for this demo area yet. But now let's go ahead and create the content side. So here I am on the new content page, and let's go into the text content stacks. So I'm going to add a CMS text content stack. And what we'll notice is that this kind of gives you a hint of what it is. This stack should be placed at the bottom of every page. Okay. This stack doesn't actually contain any content by default. And what it does is it processes all the content above it on the page. Okay, so this stack should be placed at the very bottom, the last stack inside your stacks edit mode. Okay, now in order to process the text for that demo text box, we're going to add another text stack to the page. But this time we're going to go ahead and say insert text macro. Okay, and when you do that, you'll notice that we have a CMS ID. And that CMS ID, we want to tie it to the previous one, and we're going to set that to demo. Now remember, this is a foundation project, so I've just added a few foundation stacks to the page so we could properly preview everything. And what we'll see is we get an alert saying, unable to find CMS file with ID demo. And that's because we actually haven't created any content with that. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, I've previously published this file, and it already contains all of the CMS application files on the server. Now, I haven't actually published these new content and new admin pages, but that doesn't matter. As long as the Total CMS server files exist on your web server, we can actually submit text content directly from RapidWeaver. So let's go ahead and insert some sample text into here. And what you'll notice is after I inserted this text, the outline of the box has turned red. What that tells us is it says that this box contains unsaved changes. So that means I've actually made changes to this area, which we have. We've added a bunch of text. And all I need to do now is click the save button. That has submitted the content from within RapidWeaver to your web server. Okay. And if we go back to our content page, we will actually notice that the content is now displayed. Now, this is a really powerful concept. What you'll notice is that we actually displayed the CMS contents inside RapidWeaver, right? We didn't need to create our content in RapidWeaver and then publish it hoping that it looks correct once we publish to the CMS, right? Everything looks exactly inside RapidWeaver as if you were to publish it. So you now have full preview capabilities, just as if all that content was local to your RapidWeaver file. Now, again, we saw that we can actually submit text content through RapidWeaver to our live website. Now, because of a few caveats, you'll notice that we actually can't do that with images, but with text content, you can. Now, if you notice inside the text content stack, when we added the CMS ID, you'll see that it created this little macro for us, or it's displaying it for us. This is a little helper to get you started. But as you get using the CMS, you'll learn that you can actually replace the contents of any stack with these macros. A perfect example of this is if we were to go to the main content demo page. We'll see that I have a foundation tabs stack here. Now, obviously, Total CMS can't ship with every possible stack out there. So what we've done is we've given you the ability to place these macros anywhere you want in any stack, and they will be replaced with the text from the actual content that's saved in the CMS. And what's great is it all works in preview. So if we look at this page in preview, we'll notice that these tabs actually contain the text that was saved on the CMS on our sites. This allows us to easily preview not only text, as you see in this example, we're showing the text here, as well as the images, as well as galleries, and everything else works beautifully all inside RapidWeaver. Now, Total CMS also supports formatting of our text content. And to make that a little bit easier, we actually have a toolbar that we can add to our page. Now, if I go back and look at our admin mode for this, we'll see that if I actually select some text here, okay, first we'll notice that there's a tooltip that comes down that has a lot of options that we have available. So if we want to make this particular text bold, we can go ahead and click the bold button. And if you notice, that actually makes that text, it adds a little bit of syntax there that will make that text bold. If we wanted to make this particular text italic, we can also use the toolbar. And it adds some specific syntax that allows us to make that text italic. If we were to save this and look at our content again, what we'll notice is that our text isn't formatted here. Well, that's really easy to change. If we go into the content text stack settings, we'll notice that we have a display option. And what we can do is we can say we want to make sure that that text is formatted. And you'll notice that we actually have a new macro now that you can use this anywhere throughout any stack to place formatted text. And when we preview our text with the display set to formatted, we'll see that that text that we set to be bold is now bold. And that Thundercats word that we highlighted and said it's italic, well, it's italic. That's very powerful. Now, I've spent a little bit extra time showing you some of the intricacies of the text processing, but we've kind of nailed down all of the basics. You assign a ID to your admin stack, and then you use that same ID inside your content stacks to display it. Now, with the text, we have the power of all of those macros, because you can place those macros inside any stack that you want in order to customize the content. That could be tab names, it could be headers inside your header stacks, or it could be buttons text, right? It could be anything you want. It could be tooltips or anything. It could be a font awesome icon, right? Anything that you can is on the HTML page can be customized by Total CMS. Now you can also use these in your page titles, or in your browser descriptions, or in your meta tags to allow your users to actually have control over their browser descriptions or their browser page titles. It doesn't need to be inside of a stack. It could be any content that is within the HTML that is published to the server. So this allows us a lot of power. And may I say, this is huge, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to quickly just braze over some of the other stacks. I'm not going to go into the settings. I'm just going to talk about some of the options and things that you should look out for so that when you start building your sites, you'll know. But we have the basic concepts down. The admin stack is tied to the content stack via the ID. You don't have to set up a database. You don't have to have any complicated setup process. You build everything in stacks and publish. Now, this is actually a great point. Another thing that differentiates Total CMS is you have the power to build your admin areas. This means you're not allowing the developer of the CMS to say, this is what your clients are going to see when they go to edit their content. You have the power. You design the admin interface the way you want it. This really allows us a lot of flexibility here. Now, obviously, you want to password protect your admin areas, and you can do that with the built-in protect stack. Or if you have my page safe stack, you can use that as well. But you get control over everything. Now, you don't have to have one big, huge admin page either. You can build it out. Maybe you have 2, 3, 4 admin pages. And, all of them are password protected, obviously, so that, your users can log in and then access all of their admin areas. So here we have the admin interface inside the Total CMS demo project. And let's just go down the list and we'll look at each of these options here. So the first one we have here is an image. And to upload new images, you simply drag and drop a new image. And once you drop it, it'll automatically upload and go to the server. Now, when you hover over the image, you'll notice that there's a toolbar. The first button on that toolbar allows you to edit the alt tag for this particular image. The next button, when we click on it, you'll see that it provides URLs to the actual warehoused image where this image is stored. This way you can use this image not only within a Total CMS image stack, but in any image stack that supports warehoused images. Simply copy these URLs and use it anywhere you want to use that image, and it will automatically be managed by Total CMS. Now, you may notice here that it also contains 3 URLs. The reason for this is that the CMS not only uploads the image, but it resizes that full image to a max size that you define inside the stack, as well as creates 2 different thumbnails for us to use It creates a proportional scale down thumbnail as well as a cropped square thumbnail. This allows us to, if your customer uploads a 10 megapixel file, the CMS will scale that image down to the dimensions that you as the designer have defined so that your customers don't have 5, 10 megabyte images slowing down their websites. Now next, as we scroll down, we'll see that we have more text boxes and more images that we've all seen, as well as the toolbar. Here are some text boxes that I was using as an example to edit the metadata within our page, the page title, as well as the meta tag for the description. And here's the gallery. The gallery works the same thing as images. Drag and drop. You can add new images to the gallery very easily. Now, when you hover over each image, you'll notice that just like the normal image, we have the ability to actually edit the alt tag. Okay, so you can actually edit the alt tag for every single image in your gallery. And on the content side, that alt tag can actually be used as a caption inside the gallery or slideshows. Now you can also click this and get the access to the actual full image and thumbnails that are generated for the gallery. If we notice here, this is an example of where the square thumbnails are used. These images weren't originally square when they were uploaded. The CMS generated these square thumbnails so that we can use them. And obviously you can trash an image in a gallery. So if you no longer want an image in your gallery, you can just simply delete that image. Next is we have the video, and you can paste in any YouTube or Vimeo video URL here. And YouTube supports both playlist URLs as well as individual video URLs. So simply just paste in the URL to the video that you want to embed on your page, and Total CMS takes care of the rest. It's really easy. Now we have feeds, and feeds are very, very amazing, actually. Now you can easily type in a post and drag in an image for your feed, and then when you save it, it's added to your existing feed list over here. And then for each feed, you can actually go ahead and for each item, click on it and edit that post. So you can, maybe you had a typo in the text or you want to change the image. You can easily edit all existing posts. You can also create alt tags for each image. And the post doesn't necessarily need to have an image. So when a post doesn't have an image, here in the admin interface, I just have a default feed icon. And lastly, we have the RSS button, where you can actually copy and get the RSS feed URL for this news feed. This allows a lot of possibilities in terms of integrating with, if this, then that, so you can maybe auto post to Facebook, right? And things of that nature. Having an RSS feed for your news feed will be a great thing. It allows a lot of flexibility. Last at the bottom, we can, easily do files and file depots. And you can click on the link and get the exact download link. So that maybe you want to put this URL to this file in a button so that this zip file always downloads from a button. And then whenever a user drags in a new zip file, the same URL is used. And then for file depots, similar things. You can delete a file as well as get the link directly to that particular file within the file depot. And last thing at the very bottom is just a formatting cheat sheet that ships with Total CMS. So you can give your users maybe a little bit of, help in terms of the syntax for that, markdown formatting that we used inside the text areas. Or they could just use the toolbars. So everybody, I'm really excited. I tried to keep this video short, but there's just so much awesome stuff to talk about with this CMS. And I hope you got the core concepts of how to build the CMS into your sites. You build an admin page and then you display that content all with stacks. You have all of the control and all of the power. And again, zero setup, zero database, you just publish and go. I hope you are excited. Try the free trial for Total CMS. You can download it and use it on your active site for 30 days. So give it a shot. You have no excuses. Just go ahead and give it a shot and you'll never look back. This has features that people have wanted in RapidWeaver for 10 years, right? And we finally have it in a beautiful RapidWeaver Stacks way that is true to RapidWeaver, right? You can preview everything in RapidWeaver, build it all. It all feels native and it just works. And I'm really excited about it. We've been working really hard for over 10 months now on this project. And I'm so excited to give it to you so that you guys can then take it and extend it to even further. I can't wait to see what you guys build with it. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks for watching this video and take care. Bye.